So, last episode I learned a very important lesson. Running away from Inazuma did not really make me stronger. It just gave every other part of Teyvat a chance to humble me too. So this time I've decided to do a responsible thing. I was going to improve my account, level practice, understand artifacts from materials, maybe even become a kind of a player who knows what they're doing. And for about 3 seconds that sounded very simple. Then the first thing I learned was that artifacts are not little decorations you put on characters because they look pretty. Apparently, they are important, very important. And then I immediately started worrying about artifacts before AR45 because this is who I am. I learned that guaranteed 5-star artifacts farming becomes a thing later, like after AR45, and that's why people keep telling to not worry about artifacts before that. Well, that was useful information, let's say. Unfortunately, it did not stop me from opening my inventory, staring at stats, forgetting every name, and pretending I understand what energy recharge was doing to my life. I still don't understand it, guys. Then came the co-op. The co-op is very strange because it's both comforting and terrifying. On one hand, people can help me. Well, they are helping. They're very, very good helpers. On the other hand, people can see how useless am I, and well, I'm not that useful. And suddenly every button I press feels like a public statement that I don't know what I'm doing. And I know co-op is supposed to make hard things easier, and it does, but emotionally, it's very demanding. I enter co-op like I'm walking to the job interview where the job is not dying in front of people. And well, I'm not good at it. And this time, I really need to say thank you for every single person who tried to help me because there was a whole part of this journey where my friends basically carried the game for me. People from chat, like new friends, are doing things just for me to grab that chest and get whatever I need. It was not a little help. They were like fully carrying me during the game. So, you know, only thing I was trying to do is to understand where to stand and what to press to not die, and that was it. Anyway, this was my journey, but some part of my journey were absolutely sponsored by friendship, passion, and the chat. I love you guys again. I'm gonna say this in every video because you are the ones who helped me to learn how to play. While I was trying to understand artifacts and survive co-op with my dignity intact, my work level kept existing in the background like a treat. Every time I felt stronger, Genshin waited about 2 seconds and then reminded me that enemies would also become stronger. This is the emotional experience of world level. You do one responsible thing like leveling tractors, opening chests, exploring, and then the game says, "Wonderful. Now everyone else get a rise but you." Oh, that chat introduced me very dangerous idea, Beidou. Until this point, Lisa has been with me through much chaos, and replacing her felt almost personal. But people kept telling me that Beidou could help better, like she could carry, she could counter damage, she was way more better for what I needed. So I did what had to be done. I said goodbye to Lisa and immediately had to learn how to play a character who wants me to stand close to the danger on purpose, because before that I was only playing with mages and I was attacking only from the very big distance. And then, because apparently I need to do some quests too, I started a philosophical side quest and went back to Zhongli. Zhongli's quests are very dangerous, but in a different way. Like, nobody is one-shotting me every 5 seconds. I was not dying, it was good. But instead, a game sits me down and say, "Today, we are going to talk about history, memory, goats, contracts, truth, and whatever more acts should be judged fairly." And I love Zhongli. He's a baddie. I really do, but sometimes loving Zhongli means accepting that I'm about to spend long time listening to people discuss rocks with emotional consequences. Well, the next part of Zhongli's story started like a missing person case. There were miners, strange tracks, memories, seals, and the very Genshin feeling where you realize the small local problem is actually connected to something ancient and enormous. And 500 years ago, things are, the story. The Abyss Twin and etc. 500 years ago, something happened, and every story goes back to there. And while I was trying to process ancient stone's trauma, Genshin did something very unfair. It showed me the future. Well, there was a live stream, new region talks, Najnaya, design discussions, future systems, and suddenly my brain let the current quest completely alone, and it was like, this is another problem with the Genshin. When I'm trying to catch up, the game is already standing somewhere ahead of me, waving another nation to my face. And I was still learning how to build Beidou, but the game was already talking about future of Teyvat, like the latest arcane. And it's coming soon, and I'm not ready. By the end of this batch, my attention had completely accepted its fate. There were practice trials, like new mechanics. I totally forgot what I was doing. I was just pressing random things and starting random quests, and well, I was doing interesting things, let's say. It was not Cry, Fontaine, Expo, commissions, some events, and somehow, in episode 2, I ran away from Inazuma because I was not ready. In episode 3, I finally tried to do something, and somehow that meant learning artifacts, panicking about world level, getting carried by my friends, placing Lisa with Beidou. Well, this still sounds personal. I'm very sorry with Lisa. I cannot. I well, this still sounds very personal because I know that Beidou is better, but I kind of miss Lisa, to be honest. So if you enjoyed watching me slowly turn panic into something that almost looks like a plan, stay around for episode 4. I stream this journey regularly on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, and I'm always happy to see you there in live. And you can also find my live account in the description box. And if you care about the person behind the chaos, uh, you can follow me there too. And I also have a Discord channel, like very lovely and very little community from 7 people. And I have a feeling that next time Tibat will give me another very simple goal and somehow turn it into the 3 hour of emotional damage. But well, I really hope that goal will be Inazuma, though honestly, probably not.